What's happening, people? It is Sunday, and you know what that means. Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe I don't. It's Sunday, serious Sunday. So time to get a little bit serious. So last week I asked you guys to drop a suggestion of a topic you want me to talk about as on a serious Sunday video, and death came up. So yeah, good to know I'm amongst morbid people. So let's talk about death. I mean, the truth is, death has actually been on my mind quite a bit lately. Over the past year and a half, there's been a loss of death, right? Well, there's a lot of death just anyway, right? Just how life is. People die all the time anyway. But certainly in the last sort of year and a half, there's been a loss of death caused by a very specific thing. And then in the last few weeks, there's been, well, about 2 weeks ago, one or 2 weeks ago, there's been 3 deaths that stood out in the news. Bit of light coming in, yeah, move that a little bit. One was a young boy called Richard Okorogeye, 19-year-old student. The other was Prince Philip at 99 years old, all the way on the other end. And then right about the middle was a DMX, L. Simmons, who died at 50 years old. So there's a young boy, an old man, and in the middle age, So death could come at any time, and I think we all know that. Some of us, well, don't make it out of the womb, right? Some of us die very shortly afterwards. Some of us die a little bit later on. Some of us die much later on, and then some of us die somewhere in between. It could happen at any time. Many different causes, many different reasons. So it's part of how we learn to live and things that we learn to accept. And then just personally as well, a couple of weeks ago on the 8th of April was the anniversary of my dad's passing. So yeah, death has been on my mind quite a bit lately. But the question that was asked, or the thing I was asked to talk about, really was what happens after death. And you could hear many answers on that question. What happens after we leave this earth? When our bodies no longer function and our soul departs. What happens after that? And I think the best answer I've ever heard to that, or let me put it this way, the best answer I've ever heard from a human to that question is by what's his name? Keanu Reeves. Put some respect on his name, Keanu Reeves, where he was asked that question, and he said, "I know the people who love us will miss us." And the reason why I really like that answer is because no matter what you believe, in terms of whether you're a religious person or you're not a religious person, or practicing a non-practicing religious person, no matter what you believe about the afterlife, I think we could all agree on that the people who love us will miss us, and I guess the opposite is true as well. The people who hate us will celebrate our God that we've gone. So two sides of the coin. I think one of the things that I've learned about death, when my dad died, is that it's not something that you can really prepare for. I mean, my dad was ill. He was always, my dad was in bad health for a long time, truth be told. He wasn't never, well, I don't know, never, but certainly for a long time, he wasn't really a healthy person. But yeah, certainly in the last about 10 years of his life or so, 10, 15 years of his life, his health was declining quite a bit. And it was always one of these things where something would happen, and one of the thoughts you'd have is this it? Is this it? He's an older man, he's in bad health. Is this going to be it? And then, he'd survive that, and if something else would happen, is this going to be it? And it's always one of these things. So it was never like a surprise, in that sense, but it's more like, because you know it's coming. And part of what I was trying to think of at the time is, okay, well, these are signs that it's going to happen, so what do we need to do? And of course, you could prepare things like, like financially, in terms of making sure like bills and houses taken care of, and that sort of thing, and making sure that people know what they need to do, and you could prepare in that sense, but emotionally, I don't think you can, or maybe that's just me. That's my experience. Maybe it's different for different people. I don't know. Maybe psychos can prepare emotionally, but I think that when it comes to people that are close to you, I don't know if you can prepare. I mean, even when you know it's coming, even though you could accept that this is a part of life and the way that we all go at some point, and we have these signs that let you know that it's coming at maybe quite soon. You know that you can accept that, but at the same time, I think when it actually happens, you just realize how unprepared emotionally you are, for that event. And I think when it comes to things like heaven and hell and that whole thing. I mean, I'm a religious person, so I do believe that there is a God and there's a heaven, and I think part of how we cope is trying to believe that the people we care about do go to heaven. Of course, we can't know that, right? We can't know that for sure, but we try to believe that's the case, and try to gain some comfort from that. But in terms of what happens, I mean, it's just all we have is what we believe. There's nothing we can prove, at least not to anybody else. I feel like when it comes to things like God, religion, and heaven and that whole thing, I always feel like it's not something you can prove to anybody else. It's only something that you can prove to yourself, and what you choose to accept as evidence or as proof of a deity. Somebody else may choose to not accept that as proof of a deity and an afterlife. So yeah, it's always come down to what you choose to believe, and how the living, I should say, try to gain some kind of comfort or some kind of a closure from people that close to that pass away. But in terms of what happens, we just have our thoughts and our beliefs and our dreams and our hopes and our wishes, But as far as we're on Earth, yeah, I like what Keanu Reeves said: "The people who love us will miss us," and I think that holds true regardless of what your faith is or lack thereof. But yeah, that's that's me talking about death. But yeah, that's a serious Sunday. It is Sunday. Got a little bit serious. But yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions. Drop them in the comments and send them through. I'll see what I can do. Like, share, subscribe, because we're doing this thing. More videos on the screen. Check out my other channels as well. But we much appreciated. But that's going to be it for the minute. So guys, until whenever, if ever, peace.